What's up, Internet? My name's Sammy Fightmaster, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, last Friday, Netflix dropped season 2 of their original show, The Politician. And I just finished it, and I've got to say, I have a little bit of some mixed feelings going on. I liked season 1. I thought when I watched it that it was really odd and a little weird and very extra. Like, everything happening was like, that would not happen in real life. Maybe it does somewhere. But going into season 2, I kind of knew the style to expect of how the writers work and how the show will most likely look. But I didn't think season 2 lived up to season 1. Like, I don't think it was anywhere as good as season 1. Which is conflicting for me because I really like this show and I love Ben Platt and everybody else that's on the cast. Anyways, this season follows Payton on his newest political campaign, which is running for the New York State Senate against a longtime incumbent, Dee Dee Standish. So I think it's worth noting that throughout this entire season, Payton is still a student at NYU. Like, he's a junior or a senior, he's still in college, but running for a Senate seat against somebody who is 60 and been in the Senate for 30 years. So, to me, that seems like a pretty big challenge that he's taken on. Anyways, a little bit about Dee Dee. She has been there for about 30 years in New York, being the state senator. She's like now a top dog because she's been there so long. She's got a lot of power. And she's not the worst politician. She is actually liked by people. And she's run unopposed the last couple of times because she does a decent job. So that creates a little problem for Payton on how is he going to get votes to beat her. And this season deals a whole lot with the ways that he goes about getting new voters against her. Dee Dee doesn't see Payton as much of a threat because she still sees him as basically a child because he's a lot closer to being a child than she is. And he has no real experience like she does. And she knows voters are going to see that he's basically a child and shouldn't be in the Senate. But Payton decides to pick an issue that's really going to get all the young voters to rally around him and against her, and that is climate change, which is a big issue and definitely recently has been an issue that people will run campaigns on. And Payton decides to do that, and it really fires up all the young voters, and that starts to worry Dee Dee a little bit. So now she's taking note of him. And now she's a little worried, even though she thinks she can still beat him. They both spend this entire season really battling against each other and trying to come out on top. Also this season, there's another political race going on in the Hobart family, and that is out in California with Payton's mom, Georgina. So she decided after she divorced Payton's dad, she's gonna run for governor of California. Like, why not? That's a reasonable thing to do. And she runs on some pretty big and controversial ideas that seem to be working for her. And honestly, they did not spend enough time on her this season. Like, I get it, Payton's the main character, but I would have loved to see more of her race and just her. I love her character. But another big thing that we deal with this season is that we are once again joining Payton on his roller coaster of discovering who his true self really is and if he really cares about people and the issues, or does he just care about winning and getting to the White House, and does he have any morals? So we revisit that in this season, which they spent a lot of time on in season 1. And honestly, I thought that we had made some ground in season 1. So I didn't see why we had to revisit this again. So that's basically what this season deals with. There's a whole lot of drama associated with the campaigns because obviously that's what happens in political races. I just didn't love this season. It felt like a lot of stuff was happening that didn't need to happen, but then it also felt like they basically just reused the plot from the first season in the second season and just made it a different race for him. Like, that's all it felt like. Like, it still felt like how in season 1, it's basically him against somebody else running for student body president and them doing whatever they had to do to win. take that to this season, which is him against the current New York State Senator, and they do whatever they have to do to win. It's the same thing. And it didn't feel very original or new. And then also the whole thing with him deciding if he has any morals or not. We dealt with that in season 1, and now we're dealing with it again. So I just felt like that really dragged the show down. There wasn't a lot of new plot happening. I will say though, the acting is always great. This show has an amazing cast and also is very colorful, and I like that. I'm a big color person. So I love everybody's outfits throughout this show. It's awesome. And 2 big time actresses joining the cast this season are Bette Midler and Judith Light. Judith Light plays Dee Dee Standish, and Bette Midler plays her campaign manager, Hadassah. They were really great in this season, and I was very happy that they joined the cast. Now, that's pretty much where the good stuff ends. So, I'm going to rate this show 2.5 stars because it felt like I spent most of the season just going like, what the heck is happening? Why is this happening? Didn't we just watch this in season 1? Like, that's what it felt like. It felt very messy and thrown together, and like they didn't spend like any time trying to one-up the season 1. Like, it just didn't feel like it was a show worth making this season. To me, that's just my opinion. You may feel differently, and that is fine. I'm okay with that. So Ryan Murphy created this show, and he's created a lot of good shows. Glee, loved Glee. American Horror Story. He recently did Hollywood, which I like that too. And I liked season 1 of The Politician, but this was not his best work at all. There was just so many twists and turns within a very short season. It's only 7 episodes, and each episode kind of averages around maybe 40 minutes. Most of them are less than 40 minutes. But there was just too much that they were trying to get through in a short amount of time. And I get it. I heard that they did not finish filming every scene of the season before coronavirus hit and had to shut down production. So maybe there was more to this season that didn't get accomplished, but I'll choose to believe that. I'll choose to believe that this was not the original plan and that they had to tweak it. That makes me feel better. I don't know. It's just not, this season was just not great. And just like they did last season, where they set up season 2, they set up room for a season 3 at the end of this season. So we'll see. It'll be a very interesting season 3 if they choose to have one. So overall, not the best, which really makes me sad because I love everybody in it and I love the creators. So I don't know what happened, but it was just not my cup of tea this year. Sorry, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, welcome to my channel, and I would really love and appreciate it if you would subscribe at the end of this video, and then after you subscribe, hit the bell off to the side to be notified when I post new videos every week. Well, that is all that I've got for you today, so I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!